Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Smackdown opinions video. Obviously quite a bit to talk about. We've got the new logo, we've got the new theme, we had a big open, we had a big ending. I kind of felt like the middle sort of lulled a little bit, you know, I mean, not really a surprise. That open and that end was so massive that of course it would dip down. But yeah, I don't quite know where the show ended up as a result. That cage match and everything took up a good 40 odd minutes and that was fantastic. But then, you know, really up until we got to Roman coming back out, it really felt like it took a serious step down. It felt like a pretty normal SmackDown. And then Roman came back out. So I think I'm in the 7s. I don't think I'm getting to an 8 when the 8s look guaranteed. But I think I'm about maybe a 7.5, something like that. I think we really did kind of settle down for the majority of the show. I can tell you what the matches scored. So Cody against Solo. This got great 88%, which I think is fair. I didn't know if it would get to that all-time range, but it didn't. Then we had Piper Niven against Michin. This was really short. Got good, okay, 84%. That is not a very good score at all. Then we had A-Town Down Under against KO and Randy. Of course, it looked like it was going to be Ricky. It turned out to be Randy. That was good 99%, so that couldn't get into the great range, but our next match did. Our final match, this was Carmelo against Andrade. That was great 56%. I do like the announcement afterwards. I think the women's segment really brings the score down. I really did not like that. I think it's just way too confusing. The whole Nia situation, a tag match. Whoever wins gets the title shot. But surely they would both win. You know, I know what she meant was who gets the pin will get the title shot. But what about if Nia wins? What about if Nia gets the pin? It's sort of like Nia is expecting to lose the tag match. It's like she's going into next week expecting to lose. It's just who's going to pin, who's going to win, who's going to get the opportunity. And they agreed to it. And then as she was leaving the ring, she was like, oh, one more thing. Whoever loses will be gone from Smack. Who are you to decide that? Who are you to decide that? Plus also, you didn't give them a chance to agree. I know they had already agreed to the match, but they didn't agree to that term. So, I don't know, that whole thing I just found really irritating. I think there were so many ways to get to that, and we just did it in such a haphazard way. For me personally, I would just do Bayley versus Naomi. Winner gets the title opportunity, but the loser has to leave SmackDown. And it's just them two going at it with Nia and Tiffany laughing at ringside next week. I think we just, you know, something like that, I think was a better, cleaner way rather than what we ended up with. So that really brought my score down. And honestly, the reason for Cody coming out, so obviously Roman's in the ring saying like, this is my WWE, this is my ring. Cody coming out just for that reason I thought was really petty. Why did he come out for that? Why didn't he just let that slide? Why? I really don't get that bit. I mean, of all the things for Cody to bite onto, he's the champion. You would think he would be above that, Roman coming into the ring. Like, I don't understand that at all. So Cody comes out. He doesn't come out to help Roman. He just came out to go, this ain't your ring anymore, right? Can we get that clear? And then, of course, they both end up getting attacked. And then that changes Cody's mind about teaming with Roman. So a couple of things there which really left me scratching my head. The Piper Michin match was not great, to be honest. That underwhelmed. But, you know, the rest of it was good. And some of it was great. And as we said, that cage match, really enjoyed that. A good solid 40 minutes to the show. But this is why I don't get to the 8s. I've got good solid reasons as to why, for me, this is in the 7s. So with that being said, those are the scores. Those are my thoughts. We're going to get to your thoughts. There is one thing I just want to say. before we start working our way down. And that is that these comments, and I have had quite a few people say this, are in a random order, right? People seem to be under the impression that these comments are in the order they were received. They are not. X, for some reason, just completely randomizes them, which is why I just work my way down rather than going and working my way up. Like, for example, this one was received 3 hours ago. That one was received 4 hours ago, but that was 2 hours ago. Then that one's 3 hours ago. Then that one's 4 hours ago, but that one's 2 hours ago. 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 3 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 1 hour ago. 3 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours. Like, these are not in any kind of order. 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. So it's just all random. So this is what I've had people going, oh, you always start at the top. It means that if you comment first, we don't get our comments read. It's not in any order, right? It's not in any order. So let's work our way down. Let's start with Kelly the Wise Lady, who says, what an awesome SmackDown. It went by so fast. I'm going to keep it short because I know you prefer shorter comments. Yeah, I mean, I like comments that deliver their point and allow us to get through as many as possible. So you are correct, but I don't know. I like to be fair as well. I don't like just a few words. This is great. So Kelly, as always, doing a great job. Cage match was incredible. Can't wait for Bad Bloods. Naomi and Bailey match next week against Tiffany and Nia will be interesting. The Pluto symbol was interesting. And the ending was awesome. 8.75. Kelly, love that. Great work. Gio the Theo said, I thought the show was amazing. There is not a lot to complain about. However, most people are probably going to complain about Cody and Roman teaming up to take on the Bloodline. I actually don't mind that. Of all the little moans I've had, that's fine. I think Cody and Roman are the two biggest stars. Putting them in a tag team together is pretty exciting stuff. It's a bit Hogan Macho Man. It's a bit Mega Powers. It's a bit some of those, you know, the times where we've had like Hogan and Edge teaming up as well, you know, where you get these two big names and you put them in a tag team together. And I suppose you've got the whole can they coexist stuff, which I'm not interested in. But seeing Roman and Cody like teaming together and like not wanting to tag each other, like, no, I'm actually all right with that. Right, so to that I say shut up. The two biggest stars in WWE right now with a lot of history are going to team up to face a common enemy. This is going to be cinema, especially since I assume other Bloodline members will appear during the match. But Roman better be on SmackDown next week because I want to see him live, says Gio the Theo. Stample said it was average. Del Boy said SmackDown was freshening tonight. The new SmackDown era is finally here, and it feels like a breath of fresh air. The graphics, logos, title production were on point, and I'm stoked and so happy that USA Network added a few extra minutes to finish the Roman segment. More of that, please. The segment was perfect. Can't wait for Bad Bloods, and the new SmackDown show is coming so nicely refreshing, says Delboy. Delwyn, shout out to you, buds. Jay Uso, it was good. The best was when Roman liked the Bloodline in the steel cage. Oh, when he came down and started fighting them. Yes, that was all of that was really fun. I agree. Austin 316, hello, said Cody being Roman's partner is really underwhelming. First, Cody tells Aldis that he's moved on from the Bloodline and they're Roman's problem. That was a good way to pause Cody and the Bloodline for a bit. Then Roman says that it's family business, only for a non-family member to be his partner. I really would have preferred Jimmy over Cody. And Jimmy made a lot more sense. If they didn't make it seem like Roman was going to have a surprise partner, then I wouldn't have minded Cody. Other than that, I enjoyed SmackDown. It was good. Love the new logo too. So those are Austin's thoughts. I mean, what I would say is I don't mind Cody Roman being tag partners. I do understand where people are coming from with how we got there, because I can sort of understand Cody saying, I don't want to do this. I ain't got no love for Roman. I'm out. I'm done with the bloodline. So I agree. That bit is fine. But you needed a much better reason for Cody to head to the ring rather than Roman just saying, this is my ring. This is my WWE. Like, it was so petty of Cody to bite on that. That was the reason he went to the ring, to grab the microphone and go, it's not your ring. This isn't your WWE. And it hasn't been since WrestleMania. And then, of course, he gets attacked. Now, what I would say is, Cody has got attacked, and maybe he is signing that contract in the heat of the moment, right? So I can sort of buy that bit. That's fine. The bit I'm struggling with is the reason why he went to the ring. I just think it's not creatively strong enough of a reason. It just makes Cody look a bit petty, in my opinion. Uncle Rebel said SmackDown was good, that's all. Considering how bad it's been, I think anything is a step up. Loved the very obvious Pluto signs tonight. Hated that Cody went from not wanting anything to do with Roman and the bloodline to wanting to help him within minutes for no reason at all. So Uncle Rebel gives it a 5. Howdy said, it was great. It had a PLE feel today. The word is overused, but Roman's aura needs to be studied. Him closing the cage door was insane. Waiting for him to speak for weeks. Andrade, Melo, classic. Pluto symbol. We want Ricky. I've dreamed of that Cody Roman team up. And we will finally see it. Safe to say, Jimmy is never returning. Awesome show, 9 out of 10. Well, I think Jimmy will come back, but for some reason, they just don't feel that now is the right time. I suppose part of the issue is they maybe don't have an opponent for Cody, and there isn't like a plan for him, but they obviously still need to get him onto the cards. So you could do Roman, Jimmy against Solo, Jacob, but what do you do with Cody? And, you know, listen, there's things you can do. He could be on a Grayson Waller show. He could announce the attendance. But, you know, people are probably going to want to see him competing. So I can sort of understand, well, you know, we don't really have a title match lined up. People complain when we just find a random opponent. Like, people get upset that we haven't done enough creative work. Now we're doing something where he's going to team up with Roman, and people aren't too happy with that either. So it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, I get where people are coming from. As we've said, I think they could have gone about it a different way. But I think putting that to one side, Cody and Roman being a tag team for a match, come on, that's pretty good. It is pretty good. Two of the biggest stars teaming up. Two people that we didn't ever expect to see teaming up. It's pretty good. Wrestle Knight said, I love the new look and feel. The S is badass. Nice prediction, Wrestle Knight. No more ring post covers. I think that's only because of the cage, to be honest. I think if we didn't have a cage match, they would be there. Or at least I think so. I love the background design for everything. Metallic, like you said in the stream. Great matches all around. I want Cody and Roman away from each other. Where TF is Jimmy? I think he's on the way. But for the reasons we said, like, you got to get Cody onto Bad Bloods, and they've just decided to go this way. I mean, I suppose you could have Roman, Jimmy, and Cody. You could have done it as a 6-person, because, of course, you could always have Tama join up with Solo. But maybe they'll defend the tag belts. Perhaps Tama and Tonga Loa will end up being in a tag match. It just hasn't been announced yet. And so that's why we can't do a 6-person. So Jimmy will be on the way. Don't you worry. Matt has said 8.5. Cody seems petty for coming out because Roman said in ring, etc. If you're going to stay out of bloodline business, then stay out. I hope he isn't in the War Games match. The problem is, who is a believable challenger? Anyway, I'm willing to see where it goes. And it was the best SmackDown in a while. Wrestling fans since day one said SmackDown was amazing. I'm glad my tribal chief is back. Michin match should have ended when she used the kendo stick. I hope they build from tonight and keep the momentum going and bring us bangers every Friday. Great stream and a good night tonight. Wrestling fans since day one. Shout out to you, buds. Lexi said, amazing. It was 78 out of 10. The Pluto logo is really getting interesting. Hugo said it was a solid episode. Really surprised with the Cody solo match. It was very good. The women have no heat on SmackDown. Zero. And this Roman Cody alliance is super interesting. I love that they're not friends and they don't like each other. I wanted that to be clear. So 8 out of 10 maybe, says Hugo. Samantha said, I thought it was terrific. The ending was a little predictable, but overall it was good. The Pluto symbol was interesting. Also, R.I.P. Ricky. I think in regards to the Pluto symbol, my feeling on that is the Pluto symbol is interesting that it's backstage. We have seen them before, and it has felt like a message to the women's tag division. That's how I interpreted it. The one that I can't really explain is the one next to Nick Aldis. I don't really get that. But, you know, it's funny. I was like, this is where I would expect a Pluto symbol. And then, boom, a Pluto symbol appears. I didn't see it at the time. People had to tell me after. I was too busy being distracted by the fact that Byron Saxton wasn't wearing socks. Shoes, sorry. He was just in his socks. So he wasn't wearing shoes. So that distracted me. And so I was surprised when people went, there was a Pluto symbol. It does feel like we're sending a message not to Damage Control, but to women's tag teams, to women's tag division. But then there was also one behind Nick Aldis as well. Joe from Charlotte said it was solid. Some PLE matches and moments. Really good start to the USA era. But someone needs to tell the TV people that OTC is not a curse word and to stop bleeping everything. Yeah, I can't really comment on that because I'm in the UK, so I don't get to see exactly what you get to see in America. And so, yeah, it was all fine over here. So hopefully that's something that can be sorted. Rena said some choices were confusing, but I love the show by and large. 8 out of 10. Love the watch long days. Help when I can't watch every moment live. Rena, do I follow you? I do. That's good. Rena, shout out to you. Appreciate the kind words, my friends. Word of Wrestling said it was 9 out of 10. Only because I don't get the now Jax stipulation and squashing Piper Niven. She is talent. 30 minutes cage match was insane. Roman returned. Jacob entered the cage. Closing the door was crazy. It flew by. Loads of legends. Rob Van Dam return and Ricky's debut. There he is. There he is right there. The true star of the show. Lanny said it was a great start, but the middle was really... yeah, I think you're correct there. And to be honest, even the end section was deflated. There could still have been another face walkout or Paul Heyman announced Roman before he came out. Give it 6.5. Hey, do you remember Paul Heyman sending out all those tweets saying, wise man in black? And everyone was like, oh my God, Heyman's going to be on the show. Man, every time like someone teases something like that, they're never on the show. So just add that to the ever-growing list. Joey said, it was the best SmackDown in a while. I mean, that is true. I can't really point out anything I didn't like. I can't believe I was watching SmackDown past 10. Lol. Joey, shout out to you. Ash said, it was really good. It gets a 9 from me. I think my favourite match was probably Cody versus Solo. CM Chunk said, I expected more because of all the hype surrounding it. I thought it was a bit boring and predictable. NJ94 said the show was great, but I don't want Cody near the Bloodline story. His run has been stale, and they want to try and boost him off Roman's back, but it needs to be only Bloodline. I hope he's not in War Games. I was praying for The Rock or Jimmy or Zilla or anyone. Well, Zilla's not signed with WWE. Rock, there was definitely potential, but I wouldn't expect Rock to come back and be on Roman's side. just because I get the feeling that Rock and Roman are already on different paths. Like, The Rock is a heel, and he is the final boss. And because he's on the board, I'm not sure I see that changing anytime soon. And we know that, like, Rock Roman is a plan in the very, in the future, way off in the future. So, I don't know. I mean, I think when Rock comes back, he'll go after Cody and he'll be a heel. Roman, I think, is kind of just Roman, but he's more face, isn't he, to be fair, than anything. So I think if Rock came back, he wouldn't be on Roman's side. I think of all those options, Jimmy was the one. That was the one that I thought could come down. But, it didn't go that way. In regards to Cody, we spoke during the stream. I feel really bad for him because I think he gets a lot of blame for bad creative. I think, it's not his fault that he's not in good stories. It's not his fault that this title reign has not really set the world on fire. As I've said during the stream, judge him on what he can do and what he does do, which is the promos and the matches. And I think all of that has delivered. I think his promos have been fine. I don't think they set the world on fire, but then I never think they have. His matches have been brilliant. I mean, you look at the AJ matches, you look at the Kevin Owens matches. All right, there was a Logan one in there, but we had to do that. We were in Saudi Arabia. But really, what more could he have delivered? And he's meeting all the fans. He's going above and beyond with all of that stuff, It's just we have not found good creative for him. I feel really sorry for Cody, to be honest. So I don't know that he's in this, actually, to get the rub off Roman. I'm thinking that he's in this because we just want to make Bad Blood as big as possible, and actually doing Roman Cody as a tag team, if you're going to do it, now might be the time to do it. Because pretty soon I think Jimmy comes back, Jay comes over, Sammy comes out, and we get the OG bloodline. The OG bloodline will reform. And really by that point, if Roman's going to be in a tag match, I think he'll partner with Jay. I don't think there'll be the opportunity to do this, so I think it's timing. I think that more so than Cody needing a rub off Roman, So, I don't know. Interesting thoughts, though. Interesting thoughts. The Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said, "What's up, Daze? Great premiere show. Bloodline story delivered as always. Nia Tiffy story improved. Andrade Mello finale was good. Always great to see Papa H. Where was Pretty Deadly the musical? Justice for Ricky. 9 out of 10. And we'll wrap up on this from Chris because we have done our 20 minutes. So without a doubt, it was a 9 out of 10. And it would have been 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for the same issues we had on Fox. Cutting the crowd chants. I guess we'll have to wait until Netflix. An all-time great SmackDown. Especially when the OTC showed up. And Pluto symbols. So there we go, Chris. Really enjoyed it. It seems like lots of you enjoyed it. A couple of little moans in there as well, mainly from me. But yeah, I think this was the best SmackDown I can remember in quite a long time, probably since we had Roman on the show last time. And I think that this has set up a big tag match. I understand how we got there is maybe not the best, but the match itself, I'm sure, is going to bang. Pluto symbols, it's just sort of letting us know that they're around. That's my interpretation. And they do seem to be around the women's tag division. Although it did also show up behind Nick Aldis, so got to remember that. But yeah, I think all things in, I'll take this and on we move. So we move on to UFC tomorrow, big show. But then on Monday, we've got Raw with CM Punk. So that's going to be big. And CM Punk on Tuesday as well, I believe is on both of those shows. Because he is announced for NXT as well next week. So, yeah, lots happening. Lots going on. Appreciate the support. I will see you whenever I see you. Don't forget, Unseen is up if you haven't seen it yet. Lots of bits in there. And I'll have another Unseen up for you later. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.